You've just had a beautiful baby, and of course, you start saving for college for them right after birth. And by the time they're 18, you've paid for all 4 years at one of the top universities in the country. Yeah, right. Well, maybe in a perfect world. The question is, how much money do you need to save, and how do you do so, especially if maybe you don't start until junior high or high school? Today, we have some tips that may put your fears to rest, at least hopefully. Roger Michaud is from the College Savings Foundation this morning, and he joins us with some strategies. Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
You just told me college debt is around $1 trillion. That is scary.
$1 trillion, more than all consumer credit card debt combined.
I can't think of anything more daunting for parents than to save for their kids' colleges. It's about $40,000 a year for a private college, is that correct?
Four-year private, and a little over $17,000 for a four-year public university.
Wow. Well, let's first of all talk about some cheaper alternatives.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should set, first thing to do is to look at your options, do your own research, look where your child's may likely attend, obviously.
Right. And what
but
their
certainly,
interests are.
private schools are a huge opportunity, but we all can't afford to go there. So looking at in-state public schools is an alternative. Community colleges are terrific places to begin your college education, and online now is becoming much more and more popular.
Yeah, you're right about that. How do you start saving, and when should you start? I mean, it doesn't always happen at birth.
I think clearly the earlier you start, the better.
Right.
But even if your child's in high school, you still have 3 or 4 years to accumulate a nest egg to contribute towards college. And while they're in college, you can continue to save along the way as well. So it's never too late, but get started as early as possible.
Should you set any goals or amounts that you should save, or is it just all based on what you can do?
Yeah, one of the things we found is that when a family is looking at this potential $200,000 number or $150,000 number, they throw their hands up in the air and say, there's no way I can do that. But what can you do? So pick a number and then work your way back. Start with an initial investment and save systematically. Add to it on a monthly basis. It's less painful, and you'll be surprised every year as you look back on your account how well you're doing.
What kinds of accounts do you put this in? Savings accounts, that sort of thing?
Well, we found through our surveys the most successful college savers, those that have saved more than $5,000 per child, are using a 529 college savings program. It has tax incentives. It sometimes has benefits that are provided by the state, and it has the least effect on your potential aid down the road.
I would imagine for gifts, birthdays and things like that, you tell relatives, hey, add to the old college fund.
Well, we're seeing a lot more of that. In fact, 25% of the parents we surveyed have said, we have asked family and friends to contribute along the way.
All right. You've got this big form. It's free for parents to come, and it's called the Making Sense of College Costs. It's on Thursday, Valentine's Day, and there's the address. It's on Scottsdale Road, the 4900 block at Fire Sky Resort from 1:30 to 4. What kinds of things are you going to be doing there?
Well, we're going to actually address future college costs. We're going to talk about ways to save most effectively. Kent Hopkins and John Hoopla are experts in both areas they cover, and I think there'll be a terrific Q&A from parents who have concerns and want to know, hey, how am I going to get over this hump down the road?
I would imagine so. Well, Roger, thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully, it'll help parents out there and they can make it to that form,
Thanks for having us.
Which is, once again, free. Thank you for coming by.
Great.